and dream it lullaby, and dream it
with Yum-Yums?
Well, I'll tell you. A year ago, I was a member of the Titty-Poo Town Band. It was my job to take cap round for contribution. While discharging this delicate task, I saw Yum-Yum. We loved each other at once, but she was engaged to Coco, the cheap tailor. Well, I saw my suit was hopeless, and it left the town. Judged to my delight when I heard a month ago that he had been condemned to death for flirting. I hurried back in hopes that Yum-Yum might listen to my protestations.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and exalted to the rank of Lord High Executioner under the following extraordinary circumstances. Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to try a plan whereby young men might best be stayed. So he decreed in words succinct that all who flirted, leered or winked, unless when ruby and wit, should forthwith be beheaded, 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 should forthwith be beheaded. And I expect that you learn that he was right to so decree, and I am right, and you are right, and all is right as right can be. And you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be. And I am right, and right can be, all as right can be. This stern decree, you'll understand, caused great dismay throughout the land, for young and old and shy and bold were equally affected. The youth who winked a roving eye, breathed a non-connubial sigh, thereupon condemned to die. Usually objected, 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 usually objected. And you'll allow, as I expect, that he was right to so object, and I am right, and you are right, and everything is quite correct. And you are right, and we are right, and everything is quite correct. And everything is quite correct. All is quite correct. And so we straight let out on bail a convict from the county jail, whose head was next on some pretext condemned to be blown off, and made him headsman for we said, who's next to be decapitated, could not cut off another's head until he cut his own off, his own off, his own off, until he's cut his own off. And we are right, I think you'll say, to argue in this kind of way. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right to Lurale. And you are right, and we are right, and all is right to Lurale. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right.
The chief tailor, Lord High Executioner, why, that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
It is. Our logical Mikado, the Mikado, seeing no moral difference between the dignified judge who condemns a criminal to die and the industrious mechanic who carries out the sentence, has rolled the two offices into one, and every judge is now his own executioner.
But how good of you to tell me this, for I see that you are a nobleman of highest rank. To condescend this to me, a mere strolling minstrel.
Don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive person of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand this when I tell you that I can trace my ancestry back to the protoplasmal atomic globule. Consequently, my family pride is something inconceivable. I can't help it. I was born sneering, but I struggle hard to overcome this defect. And all the great officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor. Did I not unhesitatingly accept all their posts at once?
And the salaries attached to them. You did.
It is, consequently, my degrading duty to serve this upstart as Lord Chief Justice, Commander-in-Chief, Lord High Admiral, Master of the Buckhounds, Farm Boss, Attorney General, Privy Purse, Archbishop of Tiddipoo, and Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, all rolled into one. And at a salary, a poobah paid for his services. I, a salaried minion. But I do it. It revolts me, but I do it.
And it does you credit.
But I don't stop at that. I go and dine with middle-class people on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I accept refreshment at any hands, however lowly. I also retail state secrets for a very low figure. For instance, any further information about Yum Yum could come under the head of a state secret. Another insult, and I think a light one.
Young man despair, likewise go to Yum Yum the fair. You must not woo, it will not do. I'm sorry for you, you very imperfect evolutioner. This very day from school, Yum Yum will wend away and homeward come with beat of drum and rum tum tum to wake the Lord High Executioner. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets play, and the cock the dash on the wedding day. She'll fall away as all ever with the Lord High Executioner. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets play, and the cock the dash on the wedding day. She'll fall away as all ever with the Lord High Executioner. It's a hopeless case, as you may see, and in your place away I'd flee. But don't blame me, I'm sorry to be of your pleasure a diminutioner. They'll round the pact extremely soon. In point of fact, this afternoon, her honeymoon with that buffoon that commences solution. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets play, and they'll cut the dash on their wedding day. She'll pull away as all ever with the Lord High Executioner. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets play, and they'll cut the dash on their wedding day. She'll pull away as all ever with the Lord High Executioner.
Or have I journeyed for a month or nearly to learn that Yum Yum, whom I love so dearly, is to be as you've recited. But here he comes, equipped as suits his station. He'll give you any further information.
Particularly vital. Defer to the Lord our executioner. Defer to the noble Lord, yes, my executioner.
Taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, liberated then on bail, on my own recognizances, wafted by a favoring gale, as one sometimes is in trances, to a height that few can scale, save by long and weary dances, surely never had a mail. Under such like circumstances, so adventurous a tale, which may rank with most romances, taken from the county jail, by a set of curious chances, surely never had a mail, so adventurous a tale. By this reception, I can only trust that by strict attention to duty, I shall ensure a continuance of those favors of which will ever be my study to deserve. If I am ever called upon to act professionally, I am happy to think that there are plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society's offenders who might well be underground and never would be missed. They never would be missed. There's the pestilential nuisances who send out autographs, or people who have flapping jaws and irritating laughs, or children who are up in facts and floor you with them flat, or people who insanely can't shake hands with you like that, and or people who keep tickling when you beg them to desist. They none of them be missed. They none of them be missed.
He's got them on the list. He's got them on the list, and none of them be missed. Well, none of them be missed.
There's the tenor choir member who thinks he is a bass, the song revisionist, I've got him on my list, and all people who smoke cigarettes and puff it in your face. They none of them be missed. they'd none of them be missed. There's the amateur beautician who does business in the dorms, whose body-piercing practices defile social norms, and telephone solicitors who play with their calls, and people who think wonders of the world are shopping malls, and the party and the block who say Quebec would not be missed. They say they won't be missed. They're right, they won't be missed.
We saw them on the list, and none of them be missed, and none of them be missed.
There's the quite obnoxious nuisance who just now is rather rife, the preacher humorist. I've got him on my list, and all O.J. Simpson followers who make the trial their life. They'd none of them be missed, they'd none of them be missed. There's the hopeful politicians in election state of mind, such as Romano and Haverstock, at least not Grant Devine. And Bernie, what's it? And also, you know who? The task of filling up the blanks I'd rather leave to you. But it really doesn't matter whom you put up on the list. They'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
You ain't put them on the list. You ain't put them on the list. And none of them be missed. And none of them be missed.
It seems the festivities, in connection with my approaching marriage, must last a week. I should like to do them handsomely. I want to consult you as to how much I ought to spend upon them.
Certainly. In which of my capacities? As First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chamberlain, Attorney General, Privy Purse, Finance Minister, or Private Secretary?
Suppose we say private secretary.
Well, speaking as your private secretary, I should have to say that the city will have to pay for it. Don't stint yourself. Do it well.
Exactly. As the city will have to pay for it. That is your advice.
As private secretary, of course you will understand that as finance minister, I am bound to see that due economy is observed.
Oh, but you just said, don't stint yourself. Do it well.
As private secretary, yes.
And now you're saying due economy must be observed?
As finance minister.
I see. Come over here, where the finance minister cannot hear us. Now then, as my solicitor, how do you advise me in dealing with this difficulty?
Oh, as your solicitor, I should have no hesitation in saying chance it.
Thank you, I will.
If it were not that, as Lord Chief Justice, I am bound to see that the law isn't violated.
I see. Come over here, where the Chief Justice can hear us. Now then, as First Lord of the Treasury.
Of course! As First Lord of the Treasury, I could propose a special vote that would cover all expenses. If it were not that, as leader of the opposition, it would be my duty to resist it, tooth and nail. Or as communications minister, I could so cook the accounts that as Lord High Auditor, I should never discover the fraud. But then, it would be my duty as Archbishop of Titipu to denounce my dishonesty and turn myself in to my own custody as First Commissioner of Police.
That's, extremely awkward. Yes.
I'm not saying all these distinguished people couldn't be squared, but it is right to tell you that they wouldn't be sufficiently degraded in their own estimation unless they were to be insulted with a very considerable bribe.
I see. The matter shall have my careful consideration. But my bride and her sister's approach, and any compliment on your part, such as an abject grovel and a characteristic Japanese attitude, would be an esteemed favor.
How big a favor?
Well, that was my idea.
It seems a bit odd, doesn't it?
It's rather peculiar. I suppose it's all right. You must have a beginning, you know.
Well, of course, I have no idea about these things. But if it's usual, I have no objections.
I think it's quite usual, eh, Lord Chamberlain?
I have known it done.
I'm glad that's over.
Why, that's never you.
Excuse me. Will you present me?
Oh, it's just a
One at a time, if you please.
If you please. It's just the gentleman who used to play so beautifully on the
Marine Parade.
Oh, yes. He used to play on the Marine Parade.
Sir, I have the misfortune to love your ward Yum Yum. I know I deserve your anger.
Anger? Why, not a bit, my boy. Why, I love her myself. Charming little thing, isn't she? Pretty eyes, nice hair. Altogether a taking little girl. Glad to hear my opinion backed up by a competent authority such as yourself. Very much. Take him away. It's a tremendous swell.
Oh, it's alive!
Go away, little girls. Go away. I can't talk to little girls like you. Go away. There's dears.
Poobah, allow me to present you. These are my 3 wards. The one in the middle is my bride elect.
Well, what do you want me to do with them? Mind, I will not kiss them.
No, you shan't kiss them. A little bow, a mere nothing. You needn't mean it, you know.
It goes against the grain. These are not young ladies, they're young persons.
Come. There's a good nobleman.
Well, I shan't mean it. Howdy-do, little Howdy-do. Oh, my protoplasmal ancestor. I see nothing to laugh at. It's very painful for me to have to say, howdy-do, little girls, howdy-do to young persons. Not in the habit of saying, howdy-do, little girls, howdy-do to anybody under the rank of stockbroker.
Now, don't laugh at him. He's under treatment for it, you know. I don't think they understand the delicacy of your position.
We know how delicate it is, don't we?
I should think we do. How a person of your importance can do it at all is a thing I never can, never shall understand.
So please very much regret if we have failed in etiquette. To what a man ranks so high, we shall know better by and by. But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, so pardon us. And don't engather happy spring, be hard on us if we're inclined to dance and sing. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la. Youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, and don't engather happy spring, be hard on us. And youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
I think you must recollect you cannot show too much respect towards a highly titled few, but nobody does, so why should you? That you that us should have its fling is hard on us, it's hard on us to our prerogatively fling, so pardon us if we decline to dance.
Youth, of course, must have its
past we are alone. I have sought you night and day for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian was beheaded. And now I find that you're to marry him this afternoon.
Alas, yes.
But you do not love him.
Alas, no.
Modified rapture. But why do you not refuse him?
What good would that do? He is my guardian, and he wouldn't let me marry you.
But I would wait until you were of age.
Ah, but you forget that in Japan, girls do not arrive at years of discretion until they are 50.
True, from 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion.
Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wood instrument outside tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of the Lord High Executioner.
But, shall I tell her? Yes, she will not deceive me. What if I should prove that after all, I'm no musician?
There, I was certain of it directly I heard you play.
What if I should prove that I'm no other than the son of His Majesty the Mikado?
The Mikado? But why is your Highness disguised, and what has your Highness done? And will your Highness promise never to do it again?
Some years ago, I had the misfortune to captivate Kadisha, an elderly lady from my father's court. She misconstrued my customary affability into expressions of affection. My father, the Junius Lucius Brutus of his race, ordered me to marry her within a week or die ignominiously on the scaffold. That night, I fled to his court, and taking the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band in which you saw me, when I had the pleasure of seeing you.
Oh, if you please, your Highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
But we are quite alone.
Still, that doesn't make it right. To flirt is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Deuce take the law.
I wish it would, but it won't.
If it were not for that, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
We could be sitting side by side, like that.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile up, like that.
We could be gazing into each other's eyes, like that.
And breathing sighs of unutterable love. Like that.
With our arms around each other's waists, like that.
Yes, if it wasn't for the law.
If it wasn't for the law.
As it is, of course. We could do nothing of the kind.
Not for worlds.
Being engaged to Coco, you know.
Being engaged to Coco. Were you lost to Coco Brighton, I would say in tender tone, love, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I would merge our rank and station, worldly sneers are not to us, and to mark my admiration, I would kiss you fondly thus. I would kiss me fondly thus.
But as I'm engaged to Coco, to love would become focal, and just take a little Choco, and for that I should get Choco.
So in spite of all temptation, such a theme we'll not discuss, and on no consideration will I kiss you. Will I kiss you fondly thus?
Let me make it clear to you, this is what I'll never do.
This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never, never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never do.
He'd never do.
I'll never do.
He'd never do.
I'll never. This is what I'll never, never do.
she goes. To think how entirely my future happiness is wrapped up in that little parcel. It hardly seems worth it. Oh, matrimony. Excuse me, sir. Can't you see I'm soliloquizing? You've interrupted an apostrophe, sir.
I am a bearer of a letter from His Majesty, the Mikado.
The Mikado? The Mikado? The Mikado. What could you possibly have to say to me? Here it is at last. I thought it would never come to this. The Mikado is struck by the fact that no executions have taken place in Titipu for over a year, and decrees that unless an execution takes place within the next month, the post of Lord High Executioner will be abolished, and the city of Titipu reduced to the rank of village.
But that will involve us all in irretrievable ruin.
Yes. There is no help for it. I shall have to execute someone at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
Unkind to say so, but as you're already under sentence of death for flirting, everything seems to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't execute myself.
Why not?
Well, first of all, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to mention dangerous thing to attempt. And second, it's suicide. And suicide is a capital offense.
That is so, no doubt.
We could reserve that point.
True, it could be argued 6 months hence, before the full court.
And besides, I don't see how a man can cut off his own head.
Well, a man might try.
Yes. Even if you were to cut it, oh, say, half off, that would be considered something.
It would be taken as an earnest of your desire to comply with his imperial will.
No, sir. There I am adamant. As official headsman, my reputation is at stake. I will not consent to embark on any professional operation unless I see my way to a successful result.
This professional conscientiousness of yours is highly credible to you, but it places us in a very awkward position.
I'm afraid that unless you can find a substitute...
Substitute? Certainly. Nothing simpler. Pooh-Bah, I point you, Lord High Substitute.
Certainly. It would realize my fondest dreams. But no, at any sacrifice, I must set bounds to my insatiable ambition. I am so proud if I allow my family pride to be my guide. I'd volunteer to quit this fear instead of you in a minute or two. But family pride must be denied and set aside and mortified and mortified.
My brain it teems with then the sheen was good and new for titty poo. But if I flint the benefit that I diffuse, that I would lose. Now every man to aid his clan should plot and plan as best he can.
I heard one day a gentleman say that criminals who are cut in two can hardly feel the fatal steel, and so are slain without but pain. If this is true, it's jolly for you, your courage screw to bid us adieu. I am so proud.
I pray the king, so with it my soul will live and all to a country, but if I fail, then I fail, that I was there. Now every man who feels man to small to pass as best he can. And so, although I'm ready to go, yet recollect or disrespect it, I neglect to thus effect this aim direct. So I object.
And so, although I wish to go, and greatly pine to brightly shine, and take the line of a hero fine with grief conduct, I must decline.
And go and show both friend and foe how much you dare. I'm quite aware it's your affair, yet I declare I take your share, but I don't much care.
I
take your share, but I don't. I take your share, but I don't. I take your share, but I don't. I must object. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. A dull dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short, sharp shock, a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. A dull dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short, sharp shock, a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block.
Simply appalling. I who have allowed myself to be respited at the last moment, simply in order to benefit my native town, am now required to die within a month, and at that, at the hands of a man whom I have loaded with honors. Is this what they call public gratitude? Go away, sir! How dare you? Am I never to be permitted to soliloquize?
Go on, don't mind me.
What are you going to do with that rope?
I'm going to terminate my existence.
Terminate your existence? Oh, nonsense! What for?
Because you're all going to marry the girl I know.
Listen, I am a humane man. If you attempt anything of the kind, I shall order your instant arrest.
That's absurd. If you do anything to cause an alarm, I'll perform the happy dispatch with this dagger. Ah!
Why, you cold-blooded scoundrel! Have you any idea that in taking your own life, you are committing a crime which is punishable by substitute?
What's the matter?
Are you absolutely certain you wish to die?
Absolutely.
And nothing whatsoever could shake your resolution?
Nothing.
Not even maybe threats, entreaties, prayer? All useless?
Oh, I've made up my mind.
Then if you're absolutely certain you wish to die, and nothing whatsoever will shake your resolution, then why spoil yourself by committing suicide? Why not be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the public executioner?
Well, I don't see how that's going to benefit me.
You don't? Observe. You'll have a month to live, in which time you'll live like a fighting cock, at my expense. Then, when the day comes, there'll be a grand public ceremony, of which you'll be the center of attention. No one would attempt to deprive you of that distinction. There'll be a procession. There'll be bands playing. There'll be a dead march. Girls crying in the street. Young distracted. Then, when it's all over, there'll be general rejoicing and a massive display of fireworks. You won't be there to see them, but they'll be there all the same.
Do you really think Yum Yum would be distracted at my death?
I'm most certain of it. Bless you, she's the most tender-hearted creature alive.
Oh, I'd hate to cause her pain. Perhaps if I left Japan for a couple of years and traveled around Europe, I might contrive to forget her.
I don't think you could forget Yum Yum quite so easily. After all, what is more miserable than love-blighted life?
True.
Forget Yum Yum. Life without Yum Yum seems absurd.
And yet a good number of people have to do it every day.
You're quite right not to be of their number.
Well, I won't be of their number.
Noble fellow.
I'll tell you how we'll do it. You let me marry Yum Yum, and in 1 month, you may behead me.
No, sir. I draw the line at Yum Yum.
Very well. If you can draw the line, so can I.
Wait. Stop for a moment. Be reasonable. How can I consent to your marrying Yum Yum if I intend to marry her myself?
My dear sir, I'll be dead in a month. You can marry her then.
You don't. My position during that month would be most unpleasant.
Not half as unpleasant as mine at the end of it.
That's more. You don't. Ah. But, dear me. Well, I agree. After all, it's only putting off my wedding for 1 month. But you won't prejudice her against me, will you? You see, she's been educated to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a good and wise man. I shouldn't want her points on that view disturbed.
Trust me, she won't learn the truth from me.
Great. Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer.
The Japanese equivalent of to do.
He yields his life, if I am young, surrender. Now I adore that girl with passion tender, and could not yield her with a ready will, or her a lot, if I did not adore myself with passion tender still, with passion tender still.
Ah, yes, he loves himself with passion tender still.
Take her, she's yours.
The frantic clown has passed away. But though the night may come too soon, then let the throng of joy advance with laughing song and merry dance. And let the throng of joy advance with laughing song and merry dance. With laughing song and merry dance. With laughing song. With joyous shout and ringing chime, inaugurate every career. With joyous shout and ringing cheer, inaugurate every career. With joyous shout and ringing cheer, inaugurate every career.
Day, a week, a month, a year, for you.
Life's eventide comes much too soon.
Live at least a honeymoon.
Then let the throng of joy advance with laughing song and merry dance. And let the throng of joy advance with laughing song and merry dance. With laughing song and merry dance. With laughing song. With joyous shout and ringing inaugurate every career. With joyous shout and ringing cheer, inaugurate every career. With joyous shout and ringing inaugurate every career. Laughing song, merry dance. With laughing song and merry dance. As in a bud you've got to die if Coco tells us true. 'Twere empty compliment to cry, long life to Nanky Poo. But as 1 month you have to live, as fellow sitter said, this toast with 3 times 3 will give long long life to you. Long life to you. Long life to you. Till then. Ah, 'tis Kadisha, the maid of whom I told you.
No, you shall not go. These arms shall thus enfold you. A fool that pleased my hallowed joys, a blind that sees no end of voice. Oh, rush of judges from half the whole. Oh, where's the righteousness lie you shall rue. In maple horsing, on your knees you'll sue. I'll tear the mask from your disguising.
Now comes the blow.
Prepare yourselves for new surprises.
I'll foil my foe.
No minstrel he, despite bravado. I know he is the son of your In vain you interrupt with this tornado. He is the only son of your all spoken. He is the son of your the son of your Ye torrents, roll ye tempests, help your wrath and foreign and free from. Do ye oppress my vengeance, fools, arise, roll the overall.
We'll hear no more your lowland howl. To join me sword despite your stealth. The echoes of our festivals arise triumphant over all.
Prepare for us, ye haunting lords, at once I go, Mikado lords.
Away you go, collect your host, proclaim your woes in dismal chords.
We do not heed the dismal sound. We do not heed the dismal sound. For joys everyone around.
Despite your scout, despite your scout.
Idols with vengeance shall be crowned.
Dismal sound, for joy reigns everywhere.
Sometimes I sit and wonder, in my artless Japanese way, why it is that I am so much more attractive than anyone else in the whole world. Is it vanity? No. Nature is lovely and rejoices in her loveliness. I am a child of nature and take after my mother. The sun whose rays are all ablaze with ever-living glory does not deny his majesty. He scorns to tell a story. He won't exclaim, I blush for shame, so kindly be indulgent. But fierce and bold in fiery gold, he glories all effulgent. I mean to rule thee all, as he the sky. We really know the sun unknown. I mean to rule thee as he the sky. We really know the sun and Observe his flame that placid day, the moon celestial highness. There's not a trace upon her face of diffidence or shyness. She borrows light that through the night mankind may all acclaim her. And truth to tell, she lights up well, so I for one don't blame her. Pray make no mistake, we are not shy, we're very wide awake, the moon and I. Oh, pray make no mistake, we are not shy. We're very wide awake, the moon and Yes, everything seems to shine on me. I am to be married today to the man I love best, and I believe I'm the very happiest girl in Japan.
The happiest girl indeed, for she is indeed to be envied who has attained happiness in all but perfection.
In all but perfection?
Well, dear, it can't be denied that the fact that your husband is to be beheaded is, in its way, a drawback. It does seem to take the top off it, you know.
I don't know about that. It all depends.
At all events, he will find it a drawback.
Not necessarily. Bless you, it all depends.
Besides, well, I don't think it's very nice of you to say such a thing on such a day. It is my wedding day, and, well, even if my married happiness is to be
Cut short.
well, cut short in a month. Can't you let me forget it?
Yum Yum, in tears, and on her wedding day.
They've been reminding me that in a month you're to be beheaded.
Yes, we've been reminding her that you're to be beheaded.
It's true, you know. You are to be beheaded.
Some bridegrooms might be depressed by this sort of a thing. well, a month. What's a month? Bah, these divisions of time are purely arbitrary. Why, who's to say 24 hours makes a day?
There's a popular impression to that effect.
Well, then we'll face it. We'll call each second a minute, each minute an hour, each hour a day, and each day a year. Why, by that rate, we've got 30 years of married happiness ahead of us.
And at that rate, this interview has already lasted 3 hours and 4 quarters.
Yes, how time flies when one's thoroughly enjoying oneself.
That's the way to look at it. Don't let's be downhearted. There's a
Yes.
silver lining to every cloud.
Let's be perfectly happy.
Yes. Let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry. Ha, ha, ha.
Yes, quite ridiculous. Ha, ha, ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
Brightly dawns our wedding day, joyous our wedding.
Don't mind me.
I'm afraid we're distressing you.
No, I must learn to get used to it. Only, please do it by degrees. Begin by putting your arm around her waist. There. Let me get used to that first.
Oh, wouldn't you like to retire? It must distress you to see us so affectionate together.
No, I must learn to get used to it. Now, oblige me by letting her head rest on your shoulder.
Like that?
Thank you. I'm much obliged. Now, kiss her. Simple torture.
Come, bear up. After all, it's only for a month.
I wish. I've just ascertained that by the Mikado's law, when a man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Yes, it's most unpleasant death.
But where did you get this from?
Oh, Poobah. He's my solicitor.
But he may be mistaken.
Or so I thought. So I consulted the Lord Chancellor, the Lord High Attorney, the Judge Ordinary, the Master of the Rolls. They're all of the same opinion. Never have I known such unanimity on a point of law in all my life.
But stop a bit. That law has never been put into force.
No, it hasn't. You see, the only crime punishable by decapitation is flirting. And married men never flirt.
Oh yes, I quite forgot that. Well, it seems that I can take my dream has come to an end.
Darling, I don't want to appear selfish, and I love you with all my heart. And I don't suppose I shall ever love another. Half as much. But when I agreed to marry you, I didn't think that I'd have to be buried alive in a month.
Nor I. It's the first I've ever heard of it.
It does make a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, of course. It does, yes.
You see, buried alive is such a stuffy death.
Oh, I call more of a beast of a death.
You see my difficulty, don't you?
Yes, and I see my own. If I make you keep your promise, then I doom you to a hideous death. But if I release you, you marry Coco at once.
Here's how we do, if I marry you. When your tongue has come to perish, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's how we do, here's how we do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. I must die without a wedding, let the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess.
Here's the state of things, to her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion, burial it brings. Here's the state of things, here's the state of things. With a passion that's intense, he worships and adores, but the laws of common sense we ought not to ignore. If what they say is true, 'tis death to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things, here's a pretty how we do. Here's a pretty state of things, a pretty state of things. Here's a how we do. For if what I says is true, I cannot marry you. Here's a pretty, pretty state of things. Here's a pretty how we do. Quite sorry for you, poor fellow.
Thank you.
You see, I'm quite helpless here.
Oh, I quite see that.
I can't think of anything more horrible than to have one's marriage broken off at the last moment. But you shall not be deprived of wedding. You shall come to mine.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but I'm going to have to decline.
Oh, why so?
Today I die.
My dear sir. Why? I can't allow that.
Why not?
You're under contract to die at the hands of the public executioner. If you commit suicide, I shall have to be executed in your place.
It would certainly seem so, yes.
The Mikado
Mikado?
and his suite are approaching the city and will be here in 10 minutes.
No. The Mikado
The Mikado.
approaches the city. Now look here. Hang it all. You're under contract to die. A bargain's a bargain. And you mustn't frustrate the ends of justice by committing suicide. As a man of honor and a gentleman, you are bound to die ignominiously at the hands of the public executioner.
Very well then, behead me.
What? Now?
Certainly.
Chop it off, chop it off.
My good sir, I don't go about prepared to execute a man at a moment's notice. Why, I've never even killed a blue bottle.
But still, as Lord High Executioner...
As Lord High Executioner, I've got to behead him in a month. I'm not ready yet. I thought I'd take lessons, you know. Start off with a guinea pig, and work my way through the animal kingdom to a second trombone. Don't you see? I can't kill anybody. I can't kill you. I can't kill anything.
My poor fellow, we all have unpleasant duties we have to discharge at times. And what's the matter? I don't mind. Why should you? Remember, it's got to be done sooner or later.
Must it? I'm not so sure about that.
What?
Why should I kill you when making an affidavit that says you've been executed will do just as well? We've got plenty of witnesses. Lord High Admiral, Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of State for the Home Department, and Commissioner of Police.
Where are they?
They're all right here. You'll swear to it, won't you?
Am I to understand that all of us high officers of state are required to perjure ourselves in order to ensure your safety?
You'll be grossly insulted as usual.
Will the insult be cash bound or out of date?
It will be ready money transaction.
Well, it would be a useful discipline. Very good. Choose your fiction, and I'll endorse it.
But I tell you that life without yum is
Yum, 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 yum.
Father.
Commissioner, go and fetch Yum Yum. Now listen. You take Yum Yum, you marry Yum Yum, only go away and never return. Here she is now, Miss. Yum Yum, are you particularly busy?
Well, not particular.
You have, say, 5 minutes to spare?
Yes?
Then go along with His Grace the Archbishop of Titipu. He'll marry you two at once.
But if I'm to be buried alive...
What? Don't ask any questions. Just do as I say, and Nanki will explain it all. But if not for worlds. The Mikado and his troops approach the city. No doubt in order to ascertain whether I've killed you or not. If he finds you here alive, I shall have the greatest difficulty in persuading him that I've beheaded you. Close thing that, for here he comes now.
fatherly kind of way I govern each tribe and sect, I'll cheerfully own my sway.
Except his daughter-in-law elect, as tough as a roll with a wheel of her own. This is daughter-in-law elect.
My nature is love and light from freedom all defect.
Is insignificant, quite compared with his daughter-in-law elect. Bow to his daughter-in-law
A more humane Mikado never did in Japan exist. To nobody's second, I'm certain they reckon a true philanthropist. It is my very humane endeavor to make to some extent each evil liver a running river of harmless merriment. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. Prosy doll society sinners who chatter and bleat and bore are sent to hear summons from mystical Germans who preach from 10 to 4. The graffiti artists whose vile expressions decorate every wall shall have to rate stories, provincial Tories about to take a fall. The lady who dyes a chemical yellow or stains a grey her puce, or pinches a figure is painted with vigor, with permanent walnut juice. The hokey-pokey who sings karaoke shall suffer a horrible thing. He's made to see with wide-eyed glee old reruns of him sing. My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a
a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object of sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make these present events, and really represents a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
The advertising quack who wears the tails of countless cures, his teeth have been added shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The idiot who on public buses scribbles on window panes, we merely force them gently, of course, to ride on the strings. The billiard sharp, and anyone catches his dooms extremely hard. He's made to dwell in a dungeon cell, on a spot that's always barred. And there he plays extravagant matches with fitless finger stalls, on a cloth and true, with a twisted cue, and elliptical billiard balls. Ha ha! My object all sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make the prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make these present events, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
I'm honored in being permitted to welcome your majesty. I guess the object of your majesty, your wishes have been tended to. The execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, have you?
Yes, the coroner has just handed me this certificate.
I am the coroner.
And this is the death certificate. At Tiddipoo, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Secretary of State for Home Department, Lord Mayor, groom of the second floor front.
They were all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
Very good house. I wish he'd been in time for the performance.
A really tough fellow he was, too. A man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific. It was really a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
The criminal cried as I dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bared my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and guggled, I drew my sticker sleeve, my sticker sleeve. Oh, never shall I forget the cry of the shriek it heaved. As I gnashed my teeth when from its sheath I drew my sticker sleeve.
We know him well, he cannot tell us to or groundless tales. He always tries to utter lies, and every time he fails.
He shivered and shook as he gave the sign for a stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden his eye met mine and seemed to brace his nerve, for he nodded his head and kissed his hand and whistled in a head in
It stood on its neck with a smile well bred and bowed 3 times to me. It was none of your impudent offhand nods, but as humble as could be. For it clearly knew the deference due to a man of pedigree. And its oh, I vowed, this deathly vow was a touching sight to see. Though trunkless yet, it couldn't forget the deference due to me.
This haughty youth, he speaks the truth whenever he finds it pays. And in this case, it all took place exactly as he says. Exactly as they say.
Interesting, and I should like to have seen it. But we came about a totally different matter. A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed. Had he any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatever. On the contrary, I was going to marry him, yet he fled.
I am surprised that he should have fled from one so lovely.
That's not true.
No.
You hold that I am not beautiful because my face is plain. But you know nothing. You are still unenlightened. Learn then that it is not in the face that beauty is to be sought. My face is unattractive.
It is.
But I have a left shoulder blade, which is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. And my right elbow has a fascination few can resist.
Allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays on the presentation of a visiting card. As for my circulation, it's the largest in the world.
And yet he fled.
And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes. Would it be troubling you too much if I asked you to produce him? He goes by the name of
Nanky Poo.
Nanky Poo.
It's quite easy. That is, it's rather difficult, you see. He's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Tiefengren.
What is the matter?
See here? His name. Nanky Poo. Beheaded this morning. Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Dear. This is rather tiresome. My good fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan.
No! I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with that expression of regret.
We really hadn't the least notion.
Of course not.
No!
How could you? Come, my good fellow. Don't distress yourself. If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, then he must take on the consequences. It really distresses me to see you take on so. I've no doubt he thoroughly deserved all he got.
We are infinitely obliged to your majesty.
Yes, very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Very, very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit. Don't mention it. How could you tell?
Of course. We had no way of telling who the gentleman really was.
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
It may have been written on his pocket handkerchief, but Japanese don't wear pocket handkerchiefs.
I forget the punishment for compassing the death of the heir apparent.
Punishment?
Yes, something lingering, with boiling oil in it, I fancy. Something of that sort. I think boiling oil occurs in it, but I'm not sure. I know it's something humorous, but lingering, with boiling oil or melted lead. Come, don't fret. I'm not the least bit angry.
Your Majesty will accept our assurances.
I had no idea.
I wasn't even there.
That's the pathetic part of it. Unfortunately, the fool of an act says, compassing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word about a mistake.
No!
Or not knowing.
No!
Or having no notion.
No.
Or not being there.
No.
There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't. That's the slovenly way in which all these acts are written. However, cheer up. It'll be all right. I'll have it altered next session. Now, let's see to your execution. Will after luncheon suit you? Can you wait till then?
Yes, we'll wait. Yes.
Then we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm really very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances.
Into with your nodding head and deference due to a man of pedigree.
Merely corroborative detail intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bald and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail, corroborative fiddlestick.
And you're not much better with your cock and the bull stories about catching his eye and whistling in air.
What about you and your big right arm?
Yes, and your snickersnee.
Well, never mind that now. There's only one thing to be done. Nike Poo hasn't started yet. He must come to life again at once. There he is now. Nike Poo, I've got good news for you. You've been reprieved.
Oh, but it's too late. I'm a dead man and I'm on my honeymoon.
But something terrible has just happened. Seems your father is here, and with Kadisha.
My father and Kadisha?
Yes, he wants you particularly.
So does she.
But he's married now.
But what does that have to do with it?
Kadisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm already married. Consequently, she'll insist on my execution, but if I'm executed, then my wife is buried alive.
You see our difficulty.
Yes, I don't know what's to be done.
Well, there's one chance for you. If you can persuade Kadisha to marry you, then she'll have no further claim on me. Consequently, I can come to life without having to worry about being put to death.
I really think it's the only course.
But, my good girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
Yes, but she has a right elbow which people come miles to see.
I'm told her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I decline to pin my heart on any lady's right heel.
It comes to this. While Kadisha is single, I prefer to remain a disembodied spirit. Once she's married, existence will be as welcome as the flowers in spring. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, bring promise of merry sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with the case. I've got to take under my wings, tra-la, a most unattractive old thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, with a caricature of a face. And that's what I mean when I say or I sing, oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Kadisha, behold the suppliant at your feet. Kadisha, mercy.
Mercy? Had you mercy on him? See here, you. You have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have loved me in time. I am an acquired taste. Only the educated palate can appreciate me. Well, I was educating his palate when he left me. He is dead. Oh, where shall I find another? It takes years to train a man to love me. Am I to go through this weary round again, and at the same time implore mercy for you who robbed me of my prey? I mean, my pupil. Just as his education was on the point of completion? Oh, where shall I find another?
Here. Here.
What?
Kadisha, for years I have loved you. With a white-hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my vitals. Shrink not from me. If there's aught of woman's mercy in your heart, then turn not away from a love-sick suppliant whose every fiber is filled at your tiniest touch. It is true that under a poor mask of disgust, I endeavored to conceal this passion, whose inner fires are broiling the soul within me. But the fires will not be smothered. They defy all attempts at extinction, and breaking forth all the more eagerly for their restraint, define themselves in words that cannot be weighed, will not be schooled, should not be too severely criticized. Kadisha, I dare not hope for your love, but I will die without it.
You, whose hands still reek the blood of my betrothed, dare to address words of passion to a woman you have so foully wronged?
I do. Accept me, or I perish.
Go to, who knows so well as I that no one has ever yet died of a broken heart.
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tomtit sang willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And I said to him, Piggy bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm on your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head he replied, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. Now he slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And he sobbed and he sighed, and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into that billowy wave, and an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't Willow, tit, willow, tit, willow, that it was blighted affection Now if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably shall not exclaim as I die. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. Yes, he really did.
All on account of that cruel little hen?
Yes.
Poor little chap!
Yes, it's quite an affecting tale and quite true. You see, I knew the bird intimately.
Did you? Oh, he must have been very fond of her.
Yes, his devotion was something quite extraordinary.
Poor little chap. And if I refuse you, will you go and do the same?
At once.
No, you mustn't. Oh, I'm a silly little goose.
You are?
And you will not hate me because I'm a teeny wee bit bloodthirsty, will you?
Oh, Kadisha, is there not beauty even in bloodthirstiness?
My idea. Exactly. There's beauty in the bellow of the blast. There's grandeur in the growling of the gale. There's elegant abhorring where the lion is a roaring and the tiger is a lashing of his tail.
Yes, I like to see a tiger in the Congo or the Niger, and especially when lashing of his tail.
Volcanoes have a splendor that is grim, and earthquakes only terrify the dogs. But to him who's scientific, there is nothing that's terrific in the falling of the mighty thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my meanness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. If that is so, sing terry down, terry, it's eminent, very our tastes are one. Away we'll go as merrily, merry our tawdry, terry, till the day is done. There's beauty in extreme old age. You fancy you are elderly enough. Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting is a maiden all the better when she's tough.
About this my dominion, it's the general opinion that she'll last a good deal longer when she's tough.
Are you old enough to marry, do you think? Won't you wait until you're 80 in the shade? There's a fascination frantic in a ruin that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficient, Lady Kate?
To the matter that you mentioned, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed.
If that is so, sing terry down, terry, it's eminent, very our tastes are one. Away we'll go and merrily, merry not tawdry, terry, till the day is done. If that is so, sing terry down, terry, it's eminent, very our tastes are one. We will go and merrily, merry not tawdry, terry, till the day is done. Terry down, terry, it's eminent, very not merrily, merry till the day is done.
capital lunch, and we're quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
Then bring in the unfortunate gentleman and his well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
Mercy! Mercy for Coco! Mercy for pity's sake! Mercy even for Pooh-Bah!
I beg your pardon? I don't think I quite caught that last remark.
Mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
Mercy! My husband that was too big is dead, and I have just married this miserable object.
Oh, you've not been long about it.
We were married before the registrar.
I am the registrar.
I see, but my difficulty is, as you have slain the heir apparent.
The heir apparent is not slain.
Bless my heart, my son!
And your daughter-in-law elected. Traitor! You have deceived!
You're entitled to an explanation, but I think you will give it better whole than in pieces.
Yes. Your Majesty, it's like this. It is true that I stated I slain the heir apparent.
With most affecting particulars.
Merely corroborative detail intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise...
Will you refrain from putting in your oar? It's like this. When your Majesty says, let a thing be done, it's as good as done. Practically, it is done. When your Majesty says, let a man be killed, the man is told off to be killed. Consequently, he's as good as dead. Practically, he is dead. And if he is dead, then why not say so?
I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
For he's gone and married young. Young, young. Your anger preparing for all would be merry. I think you had better succumb. Come. And join our expressions of glee.
On this subject I pray you be dumb. Your notions, though many, are not worth a penny. A word for your guidance is mum. You've a very good bargain.
On this subject we pray you be dumb. We think you had better succumb. You'll find there are many who went for a penny, There are lots of good fish in the sea, there are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea,